Welcome to the Men's Lounge LA. I'm your host, Frederick Douglass Southern, aka Sir Frederick.
And I'm your co-host and each partner in these conversations, Coach Chris. How you doing today, my brother?
Actually, I'm doing pretty good, man. I had a birthday this week. I turned 64, and I didn't do anything special. My lady took me out to dinner and just kind of hung out and enjoyed the evening. I think next year when I turn 65, I'll do something different, monumental, maybe something a little bigger, but that's my excitement. So, what's going on with you? What's new in your world?
Oh man, it's another day in paradise, man. It's a beautiful day here in LA, man. The weather is like 77 degrees, man. I'm loving it.
Mm,
Turned out to be a beautiful, beautiful day, man. I'm looking forward to getting out there when we're done with this recording, man, and enjoying the weather,
yes.
But I was surprised, man. You got a chance to talk to my sons earlier this week, and you guys kind of jumped on me a little bit. What's up with that? What's up with
That
that?
was fun. That was fun. That was fun. Just
Yeah,
just to let our listening audience know, we're on this series on finding fathers. We did a series last month, finding fathers from a daughter's perspective.
yeah,
This coming up episode, finding fathers, a son's quest, we're going to be interviewing Chris. So not only is Coach Chris going to be my co-host, but he's also going to be the interviewee and his quest to find his father after how many years were you looking for your father?
42 plus. It was a long
Oof.
time, man,
Right.
before I was able to get in contact with my dad. And we'll cover that during that show. But from what I see here, man, when you talk to my sons, man, they actually mentioned to you that I was their baseball coach, man. And I wanted to share that with you because you never seen those pictures of me when I was coaching them as a kid.
Right.
Nathan, he was in T-ball, and I started off in T-ball. And prior to him being born, both of them actually I coached outside of their birth, man. But this is when he was about 5 years old, and he played T-ball, man. So I wanted to share that with you, and now you can see why people call me Coach Chris, And after that, I coaching for quite a few years, but I got a hold of my Andrew, my
Yeah,
young
I see
son,
that.
coached him with the Dodgers. You know what? And he holds a record in Culver City for the most home runs as a 10-year-old. He had 10 home runs that year, over 200 feet in Little
Wow.
League. So he blasts the ball, and you can see he's like the biggest kid on the stage right there in that upper
How
corner.
old was he here?
He was 10 years old. 10 years
Wow.
old, man. And, and this is one of my favorite pictures of him when he was in that young age of actually that was T-ball for him right there too, but his focus was just so on point, man, and you can see it in his
Oof.
eyes, man. His the whole demeanor there is just baseball, man, and he loves this game to this day. They both do, but Andrew just loves it at a different level when it comes down to baseball players. And I was just very proud, man, to be with both my boys
Nice.
at a young age
Nice.
while they were playing baseball. So, Coach Chris, man, this is good job, Coach Chris, good job, man. So it was fun, man. Brings back a lot of good memories on when they were young boys, man. But you got a hold of them last week, man, and they kind of went at me a little bit, huh? What's up with
Well,
that?
the thing of it is that I had an opportunity to sit down with your boys, well, young men now, and I was just thinking, what better way to find out behind the scenes about you and better insight to you than to sit down and talk to your sons. And as you mentioned earlier, you were looking for your father more than 40 years, and long before that search ever occurred, these young men were watching you become a father. They didn't know that, but they were living it, and all of that is going to unfold shortly. So I enjoyed sitting down with you young men, Nathan and Andrew, and this wasn't an interview. It was a conversation. And what it was like, curious, growing up with you, the good, the bad, and the lessons that stuck. And it's coming up right after this.
They're good men. When I should be that silent, they need to be addressed. Excuse me, sir. Quiet, you brain. Wrong mental problem.
I got Andrew Wilson and Nate Wilson, Nathan Wilson. Hey, you know what? I think this is monumental simply because we get to talk about your father while he's not here, Coach Chris. And the beauty of it is that about a month ago, we did Finding Fathers, a daughter's perspective. You both saw the video, yes?
Yes.
Well, you know how the young lady discovered her raised dad, the one who raised her, was not her biological dad through a certain chain of events with some kind of blood disorder and all of that. And so she was able to track down her father. And, you know, that was a similar story for your father because he was raised without a dad. And we were going to do his story first, but his brother wasn't able to get in on it. So we did Brianna's story. And I said, okay, so now is a chance to do Coach Chris, my co-host, your father, and let's talk about him behind his back. Oh, you ready? My man is. But it's a good talk. It's a good talk, and what better way to find out about the father is through his children. And the beauty of it is that Nathan and Andrew, you both tell a story, but it's from a different angle. So, are you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
I gotta get some stuff off.
You gotta get. Okay, so when someone asks you about your dad, what's the first word that comes to mind? Nate, your mic is open, so you might as well go ahead and kick us
First
off.
thing that comes to mind is strict, fair, loyal, honest, and I don't want to use the word demanding, but like he pulls that grit out of you. So I don't know what word I could use for that, but I'm definitely grateful.
Is it more like a command or a demand or just...
command like, hey, we're on the same team. I command you to like that greatness out of you. Like, come on, it's in there. Like he pulls that out of you.
Got you. What about you, Andrew?
Definitely a lot of similar traits. I would definitely have to say strict, but strict in not a bad way. I would have to say real, honest. Honestly, it's just when if someone were to ask me about my dad, it's just, a real honest father. You know, like a present father that just always there.
Got you.
Yeah, you know, the strict part though, it's not in a bad way. It's one of those strict ways that is like, let me teach you my way, so the world won't have to teach you, because the world's going to teach you a lot worse.
Got you. Because I was going to ask, what did that look like when you say strict? What did that look like?
The word structure.
Structure is definitely a good word to use. Like,
okay, I get that.
Nathan,
I get that.
You could elaborate more on that.
Yeah, I would think the word structure more than strict. I think that's what it is.
What's one thing your dad did consistently that you didn't like then, but you can appreciate now?
Definitely hard on us, and being disciplined, because I could tell from like guys my age, men my age, that didn't really have a father. But I definitely didn't like how like hard he was on us. But now I really appreciate it because we needed it at the time. It molded us to become the men that we are today. Because, I mean, you see my nails, you see Andrew's nails. They're not painted or anything like that. You know, a lot of men have that, and it's like, I question. I'm like, man, like, where was your dad at? Like, no one told you like not to do that.
Painted nails. I mean, I put clear polish on mine. I mean, is that what you're talking?
No, I'm talking about painted. I'm talking about rainbows and black paints. And you never seen that?
Yeah. Okay, that's what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like stuff like that, saying like just molding us into becoming like strong men.
Got you. Got you. What about you, Andrew? What's one of the things consistently that he did that you did not appreciate at the time, but now you saw that, okay, this wasn't such a bad thing?
To think about it, like it's definitely how I would guess to say like how straightforward, you know, he was with things. Like, you know, he's gonna tell you how it is. And like as a young kid, I didn't really understand it. Like it felt like, you know, you're kind of just being mean and hard on me. But the reality of it is like something that I can take as a trait going forward and just be straightforward with people, whether they think I'm being mean or whether they think I'm being hard on them. I'm being real with them and I'm being straightforward. And that's something that I, you know, try to take with me everywhere I go. So I don't want to, you know, if it's like you could see the fake, you know, it's like he taught me how to see the fake by being real, you know, and it's like being straightforward with me as a young age. It's like, whoa, why are you being so hard? This, that, and the other. No, like I'm trying to point out this so you won't do that, or so you could see when someone else does it.
So coming up, what sports were both of you into that he was your coach in?
Oh, it was baseball. Yeah, he coached us both in baseball.
Okay, all right,
Mhm.
all right. So was he harder on y'all than he was on the
He
other?
was definitely, I will say, I gotta say this, he was definitely harder on Nathan. At least from my perspective, being the younger one, I got to see what he had to go through, and for me, it was just like, oh, let me follow in line and just follow through what he's doing, because he's the one that has to take the punches, and then 3 years later, I'll be there. He took those punches 3 years ago, so I didn't have to take them when I turned 10. You know, like I
Gotcha.
was 7 watching him take the punches, so that way when I'm 10 playing against the other 10-year-olds, it's like, oh, I could do this because I saw my brother do it already. I don't, you know, I'm already good. So
Yeah,
it was one of those, like, you know,
I like that. I
I
like
kind
that.
of got lucky
You
in a
took
way.
you took the punches. I like that. He took the punches.
Exactly.
So growing up, did you see your father as a provider, protector, teacher, a friend, or what? How'd you see him?
Yeah, I saw him as a teacher and provider. I didn't see my dad as a friend. I saw him as a father. I still see him as a father today. I don't think the relationship between a parent and a child should be a friend one. I'm not saying that there should be fear involved, but it should be more of a respect factor. Like, obviously, I can come to my dad about anything. I can also come to my friends about anything, but it's a different kind of structure and it's a different kind of conversation, where my friends are like guys I grew up with, right? Same era, same music, same all that. As with my dad, I don't see my dad as more of a like a friend. It's like, this is my dad right here. Like, he understands the world a little bit different than a friend would.
Got you. What about you, Andrew?
Yeah, 100%. It fell into that provider, protector, teacher role. Obviously, he's a coach, so you know he's teaching us constantly. He's still teaching us to this day. Definitely not, definitely not a friend. I mean, not in a bad way though. It was just like he separated that. Like he made it known at a young age. No, I'm your father. You could talk to your friends like that if you want to, but you're gonna talk to me like your father. Like I'm not. You know, it's not. There's no. It's set in stone.
Right.
Which was a good thing because it made me going forward when I become a father, I'm gonna set that ground rule. Like, no, you could talk to your friends how you want to talk to. You're not gonna talk to me like that because I'm your father. I'm not your friend. And when it comes to the providing and protecting, I feel like that was my dad's way of showing his love, and that's what he still does. He's like, I'm providing this roof over your head. I'm providing, the school clothes. I'm providing your cleats, your gloves, your baseball equipment. That's that's his form of showing like, look, I wouldn't get these things for you if I didn't love you and see a future for you and know that this is the things you're passionate about. And it was a way to know that, like, hey, I'm always gonna be there, and that was powerful. And that friend father thing, friend parent thing, I don't think that's a dynamic that a parent should have with their kids. Like my
Right.
brother was saying, it should be that dynamic of parent and son or parent and daughter.
Right. Right. The beauty of it is that your father was raised without a father. His mother had three young boys by three different men. There was no father in the equation. Do you feel like your father was trying to give you something that he never had?
Oh yeah, for sure, no doubt. He made it his mission, and still does today, to provide what he didn't have, and that's what you're supposed to do. At least that's what we were taught as a parent. I'm gonna show you the ropes that I didn't have. Like if I have kids down the road, I'm gonna make sure they have a lifestyle that I didn't have growing up. Granted, it wasn't like nothing bad or anything, but like certain things, I'm like, man, I wish I did that as a kid. But I have the opportunity to show my son or my daughter in the future to do certain things like this in a way. So just passing down really good qualities and really good traits. But yeah, he absolutely made his mission to do that.
Nice. What about for you, Andrew?
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I knew that at a young age, that he was trying to fill that role as like, hey, I'm gonna be here regardless of what's going on, whatever happens. I'm always gonna be your father, and I'm always gonna be there. And it was a break the chain kind of situation. Like
Ah, got you. I like
just,
that.
you
I
know,
like that.
yeah, it was like the last thing I want is for my kids to have to go through what I go through. I want to break the chain before it even starts. So
Right.
let me make sure there's a father in these kids' lives, and he was there, and he still is, obviously, always. But yeah, that's the mission that he 100% completed. And he broke the chain.
What's a moment now that you have your mic open? What's a moment with your dad that still sticks with you to this very day, good or bad? What's one of those moments that stick with you?
Me personally, I would say this is like a small moment. So my dad used to work at this paper company, and he used to have this office, and I remember in the window of his office, he used to have this sign that said, "It is what it is." I was a kid. He probably doesn't even remember that I know this, but he used to have a sign in his window. I don't know if you remember, Nathan, but it said, "It is what it is." And till this day, like, it just stuck with me. That phrase, he always says it too, and it's just that phrase always stuck with me. No matter what you're going through, no matter what like happens in life, no matter the ups, the downs, it is what it is. And it kind of like represented my dad and his stoicism in a way, in who he is. It's like,
Mm.
doesn't get too hot, doesn't get too low, stays level. It is what it is. And that, as a kid, I feel like still is like ingrained in me.
What about you, Nathan?
The one thing I do remember, and I always like talk about this when I said like my dad was hard earlier. Andrew had mentioned he was harder on me than Andrew. Like when it came down to baseball, I remember us being at Vets Park, Culver City. Um, it might have been a Saturday or something, but we were out there. We were doing some drills, and he was hitting the ball hard as shit. Excuse my language. I hope he sees this. He was hitting the ball too damn hard.
Who was your father?
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
knows it too, and he was purposely doing it because I was afraid to get hit by the ball, right?
Right.
So he's like, I'm gonna make sure you feel this more, this mf'er. But that is always ingrained into me because he was hitting that ball too damn hard, and then when Andrew got up, he wasn't doing nothing. He was hitting that thing like a t-ball. But me, I had to feel the pain, but
So
it molded. It made me a better player.
Why do you think? Why do you think that is? I mean, because Andrew said earlier, you took the punches, you took the hits. So why do you?
Because you like to whoop my ass. That's why. But no, he used me as an example, right? Like I needed to set the tone for Andrew because he knows Andrew looked up to me in a certain way, and he was, trust me, he was on Andrew too, but he showed me that like, hey, I need to do this so he can see it too.
So that being the case, what part of who you are today? What part of who you are today is directly because of your father? You got the mic open, so go ahead.
Not a quitter. Not a quitter. Definitely driven. I hate losing. Dad is about the same thing. He doesn't like losing. And just getting the job done no matter what. Like if we have to stay overtime, I'm gonna just use work as an example. If we got to stay 3 hours overtime just to get the job done, we're gonna do it. So that's what he instilled into me.
Definitely it falls in the same thing with the it is what it is mentality of keeping that stoic mentality of life, of trying not to get too high and trying not to get too low. You know, it is what it is. That's something that for me will always stick with me.
Now, watching your father, growing up with him, and we'll talk about the divorce in a little bit. Andrew, how old were you? You have your mic open. How old were you when the breakup came about?
I think I was 6, 5, maybe. I was
young.
5 years old.
What about you, Nathan?
I had to been 3 years apart, so I had to been like 9 or 10.
So watching your father, did that shape how you define masculinity? Because although he divorced the mother, he didn't divorce you guys. He was always in the picture. And how did that help shape and define your masculinity?
You want to go ahead? Yeah. Okay. Well, I know he's gonna be watching this. Mom divorced dad, but it didn't shape. I'm trying to think. I always saw dad as this masculine man, anyways. Even in his vulnerable moments, he had a moment. I remember we went to urgent care and he just broke down, and he didn't. He was like, "I don't want you guys seeing me like this." But I'm like, "You're dad." You know what I mean? You see me cry. You know, I can see you cry. You know, it didn't change how I saw him as a man.
Yeah, just at the time too. I remember the earlier time when he had lost a family member, and that was the first time I really kind of remember seeing him, tear up and cry like that. And for me, it was just a moment of real life. And for me, I would say like I always saw my dad as like a masculine figure. Growing up, me and my brother were big into wrestling, and I was a big fan of The Rock. And for me, like my dad was kind of like The Rock. I don't know, like that was just like, you know what I mean? And I know this kind of correlates to the masculinity figure because like that's what we had growing up. These like the Stone Cold, The Rock, that strong, like the man walking through to beat some ass. You know what I'm saying? And like kind of always thought, hey, my dad could do that. You know what I mean? Like as a kid. So I guess you could say in a way like just him being the coach, being there, being a father, always like definitely shaped the masculine thinking of how I would want to be a father, the masculine way of how I would want to be a father and create a family.
So was that the first time you ever seen your father break down and cry or just get kind of teary-eyed?
Yeah.
So
that I can remember, yeah.
So what did that make you think any less of your father, or
no?
Was that? Yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all. It was a moment that like made me want to know like who that person was that he lost, you know. It made me want to know like why this person affected you so much, like to where it's like, you know, you lost a person that you thought was, kind of a father figure to you in a way, like it's like that's how I would react if, something like that happened to me. And I would know that like I have, my family here that I can lean back on, that I could be there with, that's gonna, help me get back up.
So Nathan, what did you think about your father when you saw him kind of break down, and you even saw him break down when your grandmother died? I mean, but that's a little different. But this time it was him going through this. Did you think any less of him or him being weak or anything like that? Or
No, not at all. Not at all. I think the only thing I thought was it's my turn to hug him and make sure he's good. You know what I mean? Because he's been there so many times. Throughout my childhood. Now it's our turn to get his back and lift him up.
I like that.
But yeah, I ain't think of anything less at all.
Okay. All right. That day is coming. Both of you right now are single men.
Mm-hmm.
If you become fathers one day, what's one thing you'd repeat after your father, after him? If and when you guys decide to get married and have children, what's one of the things in that blueprint that you would use or repeat?
That you're not a quitter. You're not a quitter, and we're going to finish the job regardless of how you feel. So I'm going to use that. They're not going to like me, just like how I didn't like Dad. But when you get older, you're going to love it. You're going to love it because it's going to separate you from a lot of other people.
Hate me now, love me later.
Yep. Yep.
Are either one of you in a relationship right now, looking to get married, or girlfriend, boyfriend, engaged, or anything? Or what's your status?
I'm in a relationship right now. I'm not like in a rush to get married right now.
Right.
But I do love my girl that I'm with. Even though we go through our ups and downs, that's every relationship. But so far, we're doing very well.
All right. So Andrew, if you decide, I don't know if you want to get married, you ever see yourself married? And if you
do I see myself married? 100%. 100%. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
So if you see yourself married, what's one of the things that you would take into your marriage that your dad gave you as a blueprint? Something that you would repeat. Something that
that's a good question. Something I would take into my marriage that I would repeat that my dad gave me is the way he provides. I would definitely take that. Like the way my dad provides for his family is second to none, and it shows me exactly what a man is supposed to do for his family. It shows me what a man is supposed to do for his wife, for his kids, for his community. Him being a coach, not only for us, for other kids too. You're helping out your community, not just your family, and you're teaching that to your kids. So that way, when we become fathers, we can help out the community that we raise our kids in. That's something I 100% want to bring in, like just that sense of family reunion that he instilled in me too. Like the way I saw him bring the family together when we would have family reunions as a kid, the way I could see, like the way I would see him, handling so much business with, because he's a businessman, the way I would see him handling so much business is something I would want to bring into a marriage, because that's definitely like something that's very important,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
When your parents divorced, earlier one of you said your mom divorced your dad.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, when that took place, what changed for you internally? Nate, you have your mic open. So what changed for you internally?
If I'm being honest with you, I feel as I don't really know that question. I think my parents know it more than I do. At the time.
No, but what changed for you internally when that separation and divorce? What went on inside of you, or did anything change?
I mean, that's what I'm alluding to. Like I can't describe it. Like I feel like my parents know know me better than I know myself at times. Because my dad always says, like, I took it in a way, but like I can't really express it. Like I'm more, I withheld it in more. I didn't really have a lot of whole emotions about it. Like, I mean, I was sad about it. Then I was like, wait a minute, I get two gifts, but so
That was good.
so so at the time, like I was like, well, I get two Christmases, but then again, like how I dealt with it, I noticed now, like I'm older, like man, like I don't think I fully went through that well enough. You know what I mean? Like I still withhold things in a lot, due to my childhood, but like that's all I have to say about it.
All right. Andrew, did anything change for you? What went through you? I mean, because now you're 6, 7 years old, and you're 6 years old, 7 years old, both your parents, and then now all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think when I really think about it, I think at the time I was really just too young to understand any of it. I did definitely felt like I went down a little rebellious route because I wanted my dad around. My dad will tell you himself, like I was always a daddy's boy. I'm always like want to be around pops, want to be with my dad. And when like the separation happened, like Nathan was saying, like dad and mom, they could probably answer that question of like what affected us more and how like we changed because they saw it from the outside, but for me from the inside it felt like it was just like, wait, why do I only get to see him on Wednesdays and every other week, or like, you know what I mean? It was something I didn't understand because I was just really young. But it was one of those like, oh, I could always just call him and talk to him on the phone, like, like, but at the same time it was like, can I come over, can I stay with you, like, but it was just weird. It was a weird moment in life that like I truly just didn't get, but I just kind of grew to accept because it was like what life was. And then when I got to live with him per se, like go to his apartments and stuff, I was like the best time ever. So it kind of balanced itself out because I got to spend time with him and enjoy myself and be like, oh, this place is so cool, I love being here, like. And then it was one of those like, damn, I don't want to go back home kind of, but like it is, like it is what it is, like it's kind of what life is right now. But I think it being so young, I just didn't fully understand it.
Got you. Since that divorce, and you're both older in relationships and looking at relationships, did that ever make you question marriage or make you take it more seriously or not like marriage since that divorce?
I wouldn't say no. Well, if you say make you take it more seriously, I don't think I could say that either, because I feel like my mom and dad definitely 100% took their marriage as serious as possible. They brought kids into this world through love, which is very important. I think me personally, I don't think them getting divorced affected me in the way of like, oh, I'm gonna be so cautious of being married that like I could immediately see myself being divorced. No, I'm not gonna look at it that way. Love is love, and however it comes, however I find it, and whoever I decide to marry is the person that I truly feel like I'll spend the rest of my life with. And that's just my life and my position. That's not what my dad and mom raised me, is that like you're gonna find you and your path in your way. Don't let what happened in their past affect my future.
I like that. What about you, Nathan?
I don't know. Like I definitely have a different outlook of marriage. It's not that I don't want to do it. I think I don't know. It's not instilled into me to be like, be ready to get married tomorrow. I I do see myself as a family man, though. But I think the divorce did kind of, because obviously you don't marry to try to look forward to getting divorced, right? But it did make me look at like, okay, like I got to hear mom's side on the reason why she did it. I got to hear dad's, reasoning. Like they made us, they raised us, they accomplished their goal. Staying forever, it's not easy. And that's what I think of marriage. I think of marriage as like a forever thing. I'm like, forever is a long time, so it's, as far as like working on the marriage, like I don't know. I'm still stuck on that. I'm still stuck on if I really want that in my life.
Just enjoy your single life, man.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy your single life. Stay single as long as you can, and when you're ready, you'll know it. You'll definitely know it. So yeah. you're not forcing yourself or pushing yourself for marriage. You're just simply enjoying your single life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm out here with 1,000 women. Like I'm dealing with one person. I do believe in monogamy. Like I'm dealing with one person. I'm not sitting here slanging and banging. That when I'm with you, and we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna talk it out. We're gonna try to communicate together. And if that doesn't lead to anything, or if we're just not on the same page, then hey, so be it. That's fine.
Right. So after the divorce, did you feel chosen by your dad?
What do you mean by that?
Some kids after the divorce, they feel abandoned. They feel that separation anxiety. They feel abandoned, and some feel chosen because they're the other parent, whichever one that left or had to leave, they still fight for their children. Did you feel that your father fought for you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I didn't feel abandoned at all. I think I know my mom and my dad had like a great co-parenting relationship.
Oh, good.
Yeah, like a great one. I think I've seen like one little argument. I'm gonna be honest with you, like one little argument. That's the one thing that they never did in front of us. They never like went back and forth, and they never got violent. It wasn't even that kind of relationship. But as far as being abandoned, no. We were blessed enough to have a grandmother that was like really close to my mom too. So the relationship was always really good. And it wasn't really no drama like that. But yeah, all I can say is we're blessed. Go ahead, bro.
Andrew?
Yeah, no, there was no sense of abandonment at all. Even at the young age that I was at, I felt like I was still the number one priority, even though he was going through what he was going through. What mattered most was that we had what we had, and we had what we needed to, be okay. And that's always been the case, and it still is.
Has your father ever apologized to you? For whatever reason, like if he was wrong or he said something awkward, and you ever hear him apologize?
Not that I can remember, but he's definitely he's a person who takes accountability. So there's nothing I can think on the top of my head to where he's like, Nate, I was wrong. Andrew, I was wrong. But for the most part, like he's definitely, he holds himself accountable for sure. But I don't know, because we be messing up a lot, so he usually be right.
So are you the type that will apologize, or you just try to?
Oh yeah. And he'll call us out too, like say if there's something in my relationship, and I'll explain to him, and he'll be like, "Nah, you gotta go talk to her about that. Like you gotta apologize." So he's definitely fair. Obviously he's biased because we're we're his sons. But
Right.
at the end of the day, like, if you want to treat people, if you want people to treat you well, you got to treat them well. You got to be fair. And if you're wrong, you're wrong.
What about you, Andrew? Father ever apologized to you? Doing something wrong
Um,
or awkward, or he said, "Oh man, I was wrong about that. I'm sorry," or
no, he's never lied, never apologized, never needed a reason to.
Yeah, pretty square
Um,
cat.
yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I mean, it's just been, like I said, it's just straight up honesty and realness. It's just who he is. There's no reason to apologize or lie when he's just giving you what you need to hear.
You have your mic open. Is there something you wish your dad understood about you growing up?
Is there something I wish my dad understood about me growing up?
Right.
I think Nathan said this already. I feel like our parents knew us better than we knew each other sometimes. So I think he kind of understood us like so well. It was like what's understood doesn't have to be explained. I don't know. Yeah, Nathan said it earlier. Like they knew us so well. It's like we could come into the room like, oh, what's happened? What's wrong? Like they already know there's a problem. Like without they just feel the energy. They know.
Yeah.
He knew. So I can't really think of something that like. No, I really can't think of anything.
Nate, you have a pretty tight relationship with your father because I've seen you guys together. And matter of fact, when Coach Chris and I are together, you've called and you're pretty open with your father. Is there anything like you wish that he understood about you and knew about you growing up?
No, he knows me pretty well. He knows me very well, actually. Yeah. So I mean, there's really nothing to kind of uncover because we're very open. Like we speak a lot about our childhood and the do's and don'ts. So I don't think there's nothing really I ever hid from him. I just want to know why he a Raider fan though. But that's it's just, it is what it is. Right, Andrew, it is what it is, I guess.
Well, it is what it is. If Coach
It
Chris,
is what it is.
if your dad was sitting here right now and he could not interrupt you, he just had to listen, what would you tell him?
Go ahead, bro.
I mean, I feel like I've tell him enough. I told him all the time, Dad, I love you. I appreciate you. You broke the chain. You definitely 100%. You've given us what you didn't have. And I will always 100% love and appreciate that because there's so many fathers that have been through divorces, that have been through the loss of a parent, that have been through, finding their parent and losing their parent, and still with going through all of that, double down, triple down, quadruple down, and are still like, the boulder that you can't move, that, and that's the rock that I always appreciate and I always love and will always fall back on. Thank you. I don't know. Thank you isn't enough, but that's really what I can sum it up to say. Thank you for being a coach. Thank you for being a father. Thank you for teaching me through giving Nathan the punches so I could just see, so I wouldn't have to.
That's good.
It's one of those like, hey, the younger brother sees what the older brother got to go through. Hey, you better tighten up so you don't got to go through that. So. Right. And I will always appreciate that. And I can't say anything more than thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. And yeah.
He grew up, as you already know, we all know that he grew up without a father, and he worked very hard to give you what he didn't have. What do you think made him think that he could be a good father without a blueprint?
You wanna go?
Yeah. I know he talks about his uncles um, that taught him on how to do how to be a man in certain ways, and I also think during his childhood he had strived to become a father because he didn't have one. So I mean, I don't know what shows he was growing up watching. Um,
I know.
oh yeah, I don't know. Maybe Cosby Show. Maybe no, not Cosby. What's that show? Dang, good times. Yeah. So maybe seeing that kind of structure, maybe wanting him to act like that
Right.
and be like that. So it's like, you know what? When I have my own family, this is exactly what I'm going to do.
Right.
And also, real quick, I echo what Andrew was saying too. If Dad was right here, right now, all I gotta say is thank you. Stop hitting that ball so damn hard. I love you, and that's about it.
So Andrew, your father
Mhm.
was raised without a dad. What makes you think he thought that he was capable of being a good father, not having that blueprint?
Um, I think a big part of it had to do with our grandma. I think she had to do with a huge part of it. I can see so many similarities in how she was and how my dad is, and it's like hand in hand of how like she raised, not only my dad but my uncles. And my uncles have also became amazing fathers in their own right. And it's one of those like follow the leader, like they see what my grandma did for them and like let me provide and do everything I can do for my kids. And that's what my grandma instilled in them. Um, and the relationship that me and Nathan had with my grandma was just second to none. It was amazing. It was the most beautiful thing ever. I would want any person in the world to have like the close relationship with their grandparents because it's beautiful. It's amazing. And
Yeah.
I could see just through the relationship that me and Nathan had through our grandma, like what it would have been like, how stern she would have been if we were, her actual kids. Obviously it's a little bit different when you're raising the grandkids because they, get a little bit more lenient, more leeway. But I got to see like through her how she handled me and Nathan growing up, what it was like, and I think she definitely was one that like made a huge impact on how he wanted to become a father, and that's just how he saw her raise them.
You know, um, how old were you when he? How old were you guys when he was able to connect with his father? Because do you know the story? Yes.
Not really. I
Okay.
know parts of the story here and there, but I don't know the whole story.
All right.
Um,
So when he was running his business, he had a lady come in there that a client. She was a private investigator, and he hired her to look for his father in Jackson, Mississippi. She found him. They connected. They talked for 2 years before he died. What were your thoughts, or what do you remember your thoughts being when he shared with you he connected with his father?
that see the first time I can truly remember like talking about like him and his dad, I was maybe about 17 or 18.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but this when all that was happening, I was probably around like maybe 3 or 4 when he found his dad. He told me I spoke to him on the phone as like a little baby, a little kid, but I don't remember that. I was 2, 3 years old. I was really young. Um, but as I got older, like, and even now, like with how he found it and everything, like I would say like my perspective on the things is just, um, it opened up a whole new side of the family for me personally. I feel like it's like, dang, I never thought about a grandpa or grandfather, none of that growing up, because like my grandma was kind of just like everything, you know.
Hmm.
So I felt like I had more than enough already because I had my grandma. And then when I learned about what was going on with him in Mississippi and how he you know, reconnected recently with that side of the family, it was just a beautiful thing, and it made me want to, you know, go out there and maybe meet some of my cousins and uncles and, you know, aunts and whatever. And that I truly am excited for, is to go out there and, you know, see how my grandpa, how and where my grandfather lived, and how, you know, he, you know, expanded his family out there.
Andrew, Mike, Nathan, how old were you when your father, you know the story or
Oh
what I
yeah,
just shared?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
How old were you when your father connected with his
Um,
bio dad?
to be honest with you, I don't know what age. I do remember talking to him, like early 2000s, a little bit before he passed away. I remember talking to him on the phone a few times, um, but I don't remember what age I was. I mean, a kid for sure. But I'm definitely proud that he had that connection, and I feel like the one thing I just my dad never had animosity towards him. Like I never felt like like he had like a grudge against his dad. Like I didn't get that.
Yeah.
I never got that. Even to this day, it's like I don't feel that from him.
You ever have an opportunity to talk to any of your uncles from because
Not yet.
from that?
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah. See, when your father found out, well, he was able to reconnect with his siblings, and I was partially instrumental in doing that with his brother Billy. And he was supposed to be on last time, but his computer wasn't acting right, and so we didn't get a chance to do that. And it might happen this time around. What was going through your mind when your father told you that he connected with his brother and discovered that he has 8 siblings? And uh, what was going through your mind when he shared all this with you?
Um, for me, I was just thinking, man, Wilson family just got bigger. you know, I don't know. For me, I was excited. I was excited because I feel like for him, he deserved it. He deserved to know. He deserved to meet these people. And when I saw the pictures, and it just shocked me. I'm like, he looks like my, he looks like my uncle right there. Like I'm seeing all these pictures of people that look just like my family members out here, and I'm like, that's crazy. Like I'm just, it's starting to trip. It was just a complete like shock for me. It was a complete shock for me, and it was excitement. It was one of those like, man, I want to learn more about my grandpa. I want to know what's going on with him. Like, his name was Andrew. I'm Andrew. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was one of those
Right.
like, I didn't. It was just a whole lot that I was happy that he got to experience and see, that made me excited that like, man, oh, there's a whole nother family here I get to, learn about. Yeah.
My first thoughts was I was like, okay, Granddaddy AJ went to town because 8 kids is a lot. But no, I was just proud of my dad because he's been on that journey for a very long time.
Right.
Just figuring out where he came from and who he is as a man. I am excited to get to know my uncles.
Right.
Understand them and their personalities and hear their stories of who my grandfather was, because on both of our sides, on my mom's side, we don't know her grandfather either. I think he might have passed before we were born anyways. So just hearing stories and just knowing how they were raised and how things were on that side of town, very interested.
Nice. Are you guys making plans to go to Jackson, Mississippi to meet your uncles and aunts and the extended family?
Yeah, Dad said he wants to take us out there. I'm excited for it. I'm ready. I'm not sure when we're gonna do it, but when we do, I'm ready to learn and meet the family, and I'm really just happy to go out there one of these days and learn more about my grandpa, because that's just really cool to me. It would it would obviously been cooler to meet him. Glad I got to speak to him on the phone at least. I don't remember it, but hey, if my dad and my mom told me it happened, it happened.
You had that experience.
100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely 100% excited to go out there with my pops and experience that culture.
Good. What about for you, Nathan?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm excited. Uh, Whenever it happens, I'm definitely looking forward to going out and catching some catfish. Um, yeah, that's about it.
Cool.
Hmm.
Well, I'm going to turn these into some shorts. I'm gonna let your father see this,
Hmm.
and we're just getting ready for the next podcast on finding fathers, a son's quest, and it's going to be very inspirational for some young young men who don't know who their father is, never got a chance to meet them, and just connect and build that relationship with their father. I think every father should know their children, and vice versa. And I think this will spark some interest. Whoever watches the podcast when it airs. So before we get out of here, Andrew, well, no, Nate, you have your mic open. What's one thing that you would like to leave with the listening audience? What's the takeaway?
My takeaway is if you have a father in your life, or if you're searching for one, and he's calling. Yeah, he's calling right now.
He's calling right now.
Yeah, a little nosy.
Hey, pops, you're calling in the middle of the episode right now.
But anyways, just be grateful who you have in your life.
Yeah, let me call you back.
Whether if you don't have a father figure or not, be grateful for the people around you. That's about it.
Okay. What would you like, Andrew? What would you like to leave the listening audience with? What kind of takeaway do you want them to have?
The kind of takeaway I would want them to have is that I would want the listening audience to understand that there's multiple ways you could go with life. If you don't have a parent, you could go the way of being what you didn't have. You could go the way of avoiding it completely. My dad chose the route of, you know what, I'm gonna double, triple, quadruple down. I want to be a father since I didn't have that in my life. I want my kids to have that in their life.
Mm.
So for those that don't have a father or a mother in their life, if there's something that you want to do in your life, maybe become a father or a mother to a child. You may not know what to do or how to do it, but you know that you want to give your child something that they didn't have, that you didn't have.
Right. Wow. And that being said, we're going to
Break
end
the
on that
chain.
note.
Basically,
Break the chain.
Break the chain.
Right. Andrew, Nathan, thank you so much. And we'll see you in the mix.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Man, that was amazing. And the Wilson boys, the Wilson men.
I'm proud of the boys, man.
They have spoken.
I'm proud of them, man. I am truly proud, man, because I didn't have that like they did, man, and listening to what they're saying, and I'm actually hearing their true transparency and authentic reaction to questions that they didn't know and I didn't know, from what I understand now. And it just it touches my heart, man, to see that how important fathers are. I always knew that. And then to hear my sons, express their reactions like that from what they received, and you received it too, man. You had your biological father in your life. I didn't. They did. So you could probably relate to them more than I can.
Right.
But it was just, it meant a lot to me, dude, just to listen to this. And it told me a lot about myself because as a father, and I still feel this way, I always felt like I could do more.
Mm.
And listening to what they're saying, it doesn't change what I feel because I always feel I can do more, as a man, as a father, because I didn't have that blueprint. And you mentioned good times. Yeah. James Evans Sr. was my hero, dude. I like the way he ran the household, and I like the way he was stern and he didn't take no crap from nobody. Whoever came to the
Right.
door had to get past him before they got in the house. That was my TV dad. But Andrew had mentioned something I wanted to address about him seeing me break down when my uncle passed. He said a family member, he couldn't remember which one it was because we had so much loss in the family during the time that they've been on this planet. And, them being young men, my uncle that, influenced me is the one that passed, that he saw me, breaking down like that. So that was like losing my father at that point. So that's who he was referring to. And then in another thing that Nathan had mentioned when he saw me, I will never forget, it was 2018. I was sick. I mean, like sick as a freaking dog, man. I went to urgent care, and this urgent care is in Culver City, not too far from where they lived. And I just wanted to reach out to him, man. I don't know where I was mentally. I don't know if I felt like, hey, I was about to leave this planet or whatever. And I wanted to see my son, whatever it was, man. It was bad. And this is like 2018, just a year before COVID. And I've never been that sick before in my life, man. I was dehydrated. I was throwing up, and it wasn't no food coming out because I didn't have an appetite. My work I was working at the time sent me home. I was at work going through all this emotional stuff with my, illness at the time. So Nathan could remember what it was, but yeah, man, they came down, stood by my side, and when I looked at both their faces, man, and saw the fear look on their face, that's what made me break down, because I can see that they were just, afraid of me leaving the planet at that point from whatever I looked like to them, because I didn't know what I looked like. I know what I felt like. I felt like shit, So, and that's what those two things that they didn't remember 100%. And then they both saw me, during my back surgery. You saw me during my back surgery, so
Oh, yeah.
but those were the things from that question you asked them. I wanted to clear up for the listening audience on what they saw in me at that time. So I appreciate it, man. I appreciate, what you did talking to my sons. And what I want to convey here to the listening audience as a little short takeaway from me is, as a dad, you can see how important dads are. I know there's a lot of men out there that don't step up and do what they need to do to be the fathers that I would love for them to be, but that's just me, because I know, me not having a father, I always wanted to make sure that, that void wasn't in my children. And I accomplished that. Listen to what they said. I accomplished it. I still got work to do. There's no question about that. But what I like to say, want to truly convey, is that if you're a guy out there that was looking for your dad, or you found your dad, you created a bond, a relationship, you can know what I'm talking about here. Not growing up with a father, it's hard. It's a tough thing, man. I've always had that yearning in my gut. We'll talk more about that when we do my episode, The Son's Quest. But I really want to convey that, look at the results of those two young men you saw on the show right now, by them having a father in their life, and a father that stuck there through thick and thin. Look
Right.
at the results, man. So thank you, Sir Frederick, for doing that, man. I really appreciate that.
It was my pleasure, actually. And there was a couple of times I got choked up, but I couldn't let it interrupt with the interview. And those were some, heartfelt answers, authentic, very vulnerable.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it was just the most amazing thing. So, to our listening audience, I'm going to be interviewing yours truly, Coach Chris. Not only is going to be my co-host, he's also going to be the interviewee for someone who was looking for his father. It was a quest. And more than 40 years, he always wondered what happened to his father. And the greater part of the curiosity led him to hire a private investigator to track him down. And you'll hear more about that on the upcoming episode of Finding Fathers. It's a series, Finding Fathers, and his is the quest of finding his father. And today's conversation was amazing, and I hope it brought value to someone here in our listening audience. If it has, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, because your voice helps these conversations reach more men who need stuff like this. So, that being said, Coach Chris, take us home.
You know, as we empower men, like we always say when we close our show, because and when we empower men, everyone benefits, including and especially the woman who's looking for a man like that.
This is the Men's Lounge LA. We're empowering men, strengthening families, and transforming lives. And we'll see you next time in the lounge.
Thanks for watching.